Hey everybody, it's me, Pauly Shore. Welcome to a get-together with some new friends. It's entitled Holidays Without My Parents, which is pretty much what I've been going through for the last couple years. My mom, Mitzi Shore, died 2018. She passed away. And then in 2019, my father, Sammy Shore, had passed away. So going into the holidays, especially Christmas, it's in a couple days. It's been, it's been interesting, not great, but and that's why I wanted to kind of throw the net out there into the ether of the internet and kind of, try to glom on to other people that have also lost their parents prior to this date. And kind of what they're going through at this particular time. This is a very weird time for certain people. For certain people, you kind of look at commercials. You go to like Outback Steakhouse. You see all the different people having a spectacular time with their family and their friends, and then you get a group like us, which is here. Say what's up, guys.
Hey,
What's
We're
up,
in a
guys?
special. Yeah, we're in a
what's up?
special group. All these people here. We got Tamara, James, Thomas. We got Andrew, Sandy, and Dorie. Thank you for joining. And all these people also are going through the holidays without their parents. And it's I hope to I hope people see this and they're kind of say, hey, you know what? I'm going through holidays without my parents as well, and hopefully I will be able to, through these people and me, be able to relate to other people. So know that you guys are not alone and that we're all going through it. So let's first introduce the people that have reached out that are interested in being on this get together. Sandy's in, she's in Ohio. She's right there. What's up, Sandy?
I'm from Ohio. I grew up in Wisconsin, actually, just like your mom was born in Wisconsin. Growing up with your parents, you have someone who you can bounce your questions off of. You can ask them questions. Is this okay? Should I do this without them? For me personally, I don't have anybody I can ask.
All
And
right.
this will be 26 years without my mom.
Dory's there. She got off from Starbucks. Her manager's
Hi,
inside covering for her. And I got your video, and you lost both your parents as well.
I did. I lost my father in 2016, the beginning of 2016, and then I lost my mother September of 2020 during a pandemic. So that was something to go through.
Cool.
It's
All
been
right.
rough.
Well,
It's not been an easy journey.
yeah, and that's why we're all here. And then we also have James in the corner, the main man. What's up, James?
And it's been really hard. Like, it's not easy. It's like you said,
No.
like without your family, and that like it feels like you're destroyed inside and ripped apart.
Yeah. So you're in, and we'll circle back on that. I just want to kind of get everyone introduced. And you're, what city are you in?
I'm in Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Canada. Give it up for Canada, you guys. We love
Woo!
Canada. America
Hey,
loves Canada. And then of course we have Tamara. What's up, Tamara?
Hi, I'm from Canada too.
Canada, another
Woo!
Canadian. Yes.
And yeah, both my parents passed away. My father passed away 2013, and my mom
Mm,
passed away 2015.
mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll get back to you. We have Andrew. Andrew, what's up, my man?
What's up? And thanks again, Paulie, for having us and for doing this.
Mm.
Andrew from
Yeah.
Staten Island, New York. Staten Island, New York. I
New
lost my
York.
mom. I lost my mom January of 2017, and my dad last August 2020.
Heavy.
So
So it's
yeah,
fresh. It's fresh.
it's yeah, like yourself, it is.
Fuck. Thomas, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Yeah, you can call me Tommy too. Yeah, I lost my dad in 1995 when I was 28. So, and it
Oh.
was very sudden. He had a heart attack. But I had older parents. He was 71,
Mm.
and then my mom died in 2008. But she had, at age 82, but she had Alzheimer's, so that lingered, and it was kind of a blessing. But yeah, without your parents, at Christmas time is
Yeah.
definitely tough.
Yeah. So thanks for you guys. Thank you for doing this. I mentioned earlier that I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not a doctor. I'm not here to kind of like help you guys through this. I'm just here to pretty much talk about it because I'm going through it as well. I also talked to you about there's I think there's four kind of people that are going through what we're going through. There's the people that are I guess both their what is it both their parents pass, and you started in a new family, so you kind of have this new family, and then your other family, your parents are gone. Or you've kind of glommed on to your siblings and their family, or you're kind of isolated with your pet and you're kind of by yourself, or you have a girlfriend. So what category is, say, Tamara? Which one are you in?
Um, well, I have my own family. I have an 11-year-old son and my husband, and but I also have the friend category. You know,
Your friends have
so
adopted you?
yeah, I
So
would
when you
say
go to, so do you go to Christmas? Do you go to Christmas at someone's house?
no,
You don't.
no.
How does that make
I
you?
just
How does
focus.
that? Yeah, how does that make you feel? That's fucked up, because that's the same thing with me, because like Thanksgiving, like you can get invited to other people's homes. Like my friend Jason Swing, he invites me all the time to his home. But then Christmas, you don't want to get invited to someone's home because that's super intimate. Have you ever been to a
Yeah, no.
Christmas, invited to a Christmas, Andrew, where everyone is opening presents and you're sitting there going, you're the guy on the couch?
Well,
Yeah, I have.
in
Are you
in
that?
my
Is
si-
that you? Wait. Let's talk
Yep.
to Tamara. Is that you?
Yep.
I've
Photographer over
had
here.
that before. Yeah,
What's
not
that?
my
What's that
thing.
like? What's very
Oh,
awkward,
you feel
right?
like a loser. You just feel like a loser, like you're pitied. I don't know.
Right. Like you're
Right.
pitied.
So
You
so
know,
so Dory, did that happen to you?
So for me, I have my dogs, of course, and I have my friends, but I also have my partner. Her
No,
family's
but what
taken me
about
in and under their wing.
oh so during Christmas you go to your partner's house, and
I
then
do, and it's still very strange.
it's
She's Mexican,
awkward,
so they
right?
celebrate on the 23rd, which
Oh
is
wow.
different for my family. It is awkward because I'm sitting there while everyone's opening presents and having a cheery time, and I'm the one on the couch. Even though I'm with, someone that's, at the party, I'm with my partner, I still feel like the oddball out. I just
Right.
do.
And you
It's
feel like
it's the
drinking.
worst
You're
feeling.
like you yeah, well
I
since
do.
they're right, you're like, "Yo, where's the fucking tequila? You guys go
Right,
open your
exactly.
presents. I'm going to sit in the corner and drink."
I'm gonna drink the tequila. Right.
No, but
Right.
it's true, like, because Christmas, if you think back when you were a kid, your parents are there, there's the tree, and then everyone's kind of opening their presents, and then now they're gone, and then you
Right.
get invited, "Oh, come over to my house for Christmas," and you're sitting there on the couch, and everyone is opening your presents, and you're like this, and they're like, "Oh, wait, we got you something," and you're like, "Oh,
Right.
fuck." So what do you guys do during Christmas? So Tamara, what do you do during Christmas? Do you medicate yourself? What do you do?
no, I just focus everything on my son and my husband now. That's it.
Okay.
That I just focus it all there.
Thomas, I know you have a big family, so it's not as hardcore, or what?
Well, I'm the youngest of five, so the older three, they don't get along, so we don't all get together like we used to. When the parents were alive, we all got together no matter what. So
Right.
I only get together
Yeah.
with a couple of them. But yeah, I heavily medicated for a long time. I'm 8 years sober now, but I had my, because,
Congratulations.
but yeah, I heavily
I don't
medicated.
think he's going to be sober after this interview, but he'll probably slip.
But
Hey,
yeah,
James,
I mean,
James, you shut up. I'm going to get to you in a little bit. I'm talking to Thomas. No, I'm just
so
kidding. So Thomas, go on.
so yeah, so I tried that for a long time, and obviously it didn't work. So yeah, now it's just pretty much my wife and my kids and my sister and
Uh-huh.
one brother.
And
So we all don't get together. We all don't get together.
so
So a lot of the siblings don't go.
why don't the siblings get along? Was it something with money, or was it like what happened?
Yeah, so I have a brother that's 17 years older, a sister 16 years older, a brother 12 years older. So those three, yeah, that's more of a money thing. Money thing, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So what happened there?
Uh, well, the third oldest, he got the family business, and there was a lot of animosity about that, how he got that, and he's very successful with it. He's done a great job. And then there's
Right.
a lot of,
Are they carving you off any cheese on that, or do they take care of you
no,
guys, or he just kind of runs it and then you're not part of it at all?
correct. Yep, yep. He got it all, and yep.
How does that make you
So,
guys feel, the other siblings?
well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of animosity sometimes. Yeah,
And it's not just
yeah,
a financial thing, it's an emotional thing because that's your family business, right?
yeah. It was started by my grandfather. Correct. Yep, yep, yep.
Right,
So yeah,
right,
no, I was heavy duty.
right. So do you guys, when you know, like, say like August, September comes along and you're like, oh shit, the next months are October, November, do you guys kind of dread when the holidays start to kind of lurk around, or do you guys are stoked about the holidays? Dorie?
It's a little of both. I get really sad, of course, because I want to spend it with my family, my own family. But
Mm,
it's also my birthday, so it's like I hate Christmas the most. Christmas is the hardest for me. Thanksgiving I can get through. Halloween I can get through. Christmas was really special in our house. My father and my mom would go all out, decorate everything, lights up, trees up. And I don't have any of that now, none of it. So I get really sad. And then I have to, celebrate my birthday, which is this Sunday, without them. And it's like, how do you celebrate a birthday without your parents and Christmas? So I get
right.
double whammies, it feels like. Yeah.
So do you take Xanax or Valium, or what do you take,
I,
pills?
I smoke a lot of weed.
Right. But you
I
kind of
smoke a
like
lot of
zone
pot.
out. So maybe you can
I
call
do.
Thomas. Maybe you could call Thomas, and he can help you out how to become sober. Because Thomas, we applaud you for being sober. Because
Yes,
guys, come on,
absolutely. Right. It's
Thomas, that's
hard.
a big deal.
Yeah.
It
James,
Thank
why
you,
were you
man.
the last to clap? You're not fucking sober.
My God.
James, what do you have to
Yeah.
say? What do you do? Do you
Well,
medicate
like,
yourself during the holidays? Do you take pills? Do you smoke weed? Drink what?
well, I used to smoke weed, and then after a while, I realized, hey, once you reached out to me, I knew, hey, we're all in this together, and stay
Right.
connected like this and all that. So I figured too. Most of the time, I didn't like it because like how it does to you and all that. But you need to do it just to get rid of those emotions of missing your parents every day. To me,
Hmm.
I don't know if anyone
Yeah.
else. It feels like someone puts a like VCR tape in my head, making me watch it every morning to remember that they're dead. That's what it feels like, and I
Mm.
don't like it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the hardest thing for me is not being able to kiss my mom or kiss my dad. And just to, like, even if they're elderly and even if they're kind of, not doing well, like, just to go over and just just to kiss them and stuff like that. That's been the hardest for me. And I was close with both my parents. It wasn't like I was closer with my mom or my dad. My mom raised me, but I was very close with both of them. And people always say, well, they're still with you, and yeah, mentally, you feel that they are with you, but physically, you can't. And it's just, it's one of those things. But James,
Yeah.
this is really fresh for you. This is a new way of life for you. So,
Hmm.
do are you? How do you deal with it? Because a lot of people watching, they probably lost people from COVID, more
Right.
recent, and how do you deal with it?
Well, I keep busy. Like I play video games to keep my mind busy.
Hmm.
Go do normal things like everyone else. I have a 3-year-old son, which my parents knew him for 2.5 years, and then when he grows up, they're gonna be like, "Where's Nana and Papa?" But I kept all his toys and all that. But how I get through it too is like just like spend time with my family, talk to my brother, and like just say, okay, they're in a better place because my mom was really like with a bad back, so thank God she's better and everything like that in heaven,
Mm.
right? But it sucks,
Yeah.
but
Right.
that's how it goes, and it just isn't
Uh,
like fair. You
yeah,
can't think of
and
anything else to make yourself feel better.
yeah. Has anyone here experienced their parents passing on hospice?
I did. My father passed away of cancer, and the last part of his life, he was at home on hospice the last three
Oh,
months.
yeah.
It was really, really
Tamara,
hard.
Tamara, Tamara, your parents passed on hospice?
My dad did. He passed
Yeah.
away at home. He had terminal cancer, and that sucked. Sucked to
Yeah,
watch.
hospice is a very whew, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you guys all know what hospice is, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hospice is basically, you're gonna die,
Right.
right? It's just when, so it's kind of like,
Yep.
Right.
and it's if you haven't experienced a loved one, a close friend dying on hospice, it's crazy. The one thing I learned, which was kind of sad for me, is my mom died of Parkinson's, and her nervous system, and she was stopping to be able to swallow and all that
That's
stuff.
my
And
mom.
your mom did too?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and
Parkinson's like
yeah,
symptoms.
yeah, and the thing that I learned from the hospice nurse, because obviously there's nurses there, you go outside and you start talking to them about what you guys are going through, and the last thing that goes from what the hospice nurse told me is the hearing. So even
Yes.
though your mom or your dad or your grandparents is, I don't want to say the word vegetable, but where they're just kind of like this, and they can actually hear what
Hmm.
you have to say. So
Right.
I think that's important to know. So people that are watching, if you're on hospice with your parents or your grandparents, know that they can hear you. So definitely say your goodbyes, because they might not be able to say thank you and I love you too,
Right.
but they hear it and they feel. So I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, hey, you guys, I just lost all their boxes. Paul and
I was
and,
gonna
and
say hi, Polly.
Yeah, I can just
Yeah,
see you.
Yeah, I see you, and I see my camera too. I don't know where the boxes
Yeah, I
went.
see me and I
And
see you. I don't see anyone else.
there we
oh,
go.
There
there
you
it
You're
is.
are.
there.
So Paul, should I repeat that last thing really quick because you didn't get it, or are we good, or what? Yeah. So the people that have not experienced hospice, it's basically whoever is on hospice is going to die no matter what. It's just a
Right.
matter of
Right.
when they're going to pass. It could be a week, it could be 2 weeks, 3 months, but everyone has basically said this person is going to pass. But the one thing I learned from my mom's situation was, because she had Parkinson's and a nervous condition, and she couldn't speak. Her throat, she could stop swallowing and stuff. Is the last thing that goes is the hearing. This is what the hospice nurse told me. So if anyone out there has a loved one that can't speak, that is on hospice, that is, you feel like they're just they're a vegetable and they're just kind of like this, like that, they actually can hear you. So if you want to say your goodbyes, say it to them softly in your ear, and they'll hear you. So I think it's important that was something that I had no idea, because you and I know if you see someone like this, like that, like in a kind of a state of just, you think they don't hear and they're just out of it, but it's not true. Dorie?
Yes, they can hear you. I told my father goodbye, and when I went to touch his hand, he had moved it from me, and I started laughing, and I said, "Dad, don't move your hand," and he moved it back. So I knew he heard me, and this was
Mm,
hours before he'd passed away, and it was heart wrenching, but they can hear you. So if there is, loved ones out there on hospice, talk to them, tell them your secrets, tell them
Exactly.
your sorries,
Yep.
tell them every last word you want to say.
Mm.
Get it out there and let them know. They can hear you. They can.
yeah. And Andrew,
Yes.
so yours is kind of fresh too. You want to tell us what you're going through during the holidays? I know I got your video, and this is some new
Yes.
shit for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, to kind of circle back to what you mentioned about how do you handle the holidays? Do you go to friends? Do you go to this? Kind of still figuring that out because it's only been one Christmas without my
Mm.
Right.
dad, which was last
Mm.
Here,
Christmas. So go ahead.
let me say this really quick and then you can continue. I don't want to say, don't you hate when people find out that your parents have passed and like, oh, come over to my house? You know what I mean?
Like it's gonna
It's
fix
like,
everything.
yeah, or
Man,
like,
we
yeah,
love
Well,
it.
like,
well, well. That's what I was
because,
gonna. Go ahead.
yeah. No, go
Sorry.
go
No.
on. It's true.
Well,
So
I
go
was
on.
going to mention exactly that, and you'd mentioned it in your what you wrote to us, and I've thought about it. It's only been one Christmas now without both my parents, right? So when it was just my mom, try to make this short. I don't want to go on. Um, I don't want to say it was easier to lose my mom than it was my dad, but we had my dad. So, it was more like make sure he's happy, make sure he's still enjoying Christmas,
Right.
make sure we're keeping up traditions with him. And that kept us
Right.
occupied. And, we have a lot of fun with him. And my father had a lot of interests in a lot of different groups of friends, his baseball guys and his vet guys. And he was writing, he became an author after my mother died to keep himself occupied. So we had so much going on with him that it wasn't until he was gone where it was like, whoa, what just happened here now? So that's only been one Christmas like that. And I did have the friends, and I'm blessed to have really good friends, big families, party
Mm,
atmosphere. Not, it wouldn't be sitting in the corner feeling stupid. They're great, hosts, and it's a lot of fun. It's party, it's loud, But I almost didn't want to be in the mood for that. Not because I'd feel silly or I was off in the corner,
Mm-hmm.
although there is an intimacy to it, no matter how you say it. I don't have kids, but their kids would be opening presents, and of course that's going to be going on to a certain degree. But we decided to keep it simple. We didn't know me and I have one sibling, my older sister. She lives close. My dad's house. We're all like a block away from each other, and that's the way it's always been since we moved out of the house. So, which was easy with taking care of and helping and running around when we had to at the time. But me and my sister just said, we'll keep it simple. We'll just stay together. It would have felt
mm,
weird to be without my sister after all that. And we kind of, in the same sense that we keep our little vacation that we used to do. My parents didn't get on planes. They didn't do elaborate things. They loved to go to Cape May, New Jersey for a week. They loved to have us with them. So my sister was like, "Do you want to still do Cape May?" So of course we did that for the first time, not to get off Christmas, but it's the same idea. Do we keep these traditions? Should we just stay
mm,
together quietly? And we did, and it was very nice. And it seems like that's the way it's going to be. Eve at her house, day at my house. I'll have my time to go over the holidays, to go to friends and do things. But when it comes to Christmas, we decided, just me and my sister, we'll definitely stay together,
yeah,
whether it's quiet. And then
yeah.
the talk, the conversations begin, of course, over dinner. You can't help getting, everybody gets a little choked up. You have a couple, and when you're talking about medicating and all that, well, of course, anybody has a couple glasses of wine. You'll have laughs and you'll have tears. That's just par for the course.
Mm.
But that's the way it's been. If that was your question, or I'm sorry if I went
Yeah.
too.
No, no, no. You know what I did one year, which was and this is a good way to avoid Christmas. is I hopped on a plane because I knew I was performing in, I think, Indianapolis, and I was with my friend Josh, and I hopped on a plane on Christmas morning. So I'm on the plane the whole time, and then once I landed in Indianapolis, we went to, I don't know, to eat some food, and pretty much Christmas was over. So it's like,
Right.
if you want, that's a good way to avoid it, is just be on a plane. It's kind of sad, but
Yes.
it's like, it's a good
I know what you
way
mean.
to
I
Yes,
don't
that's a
do
find
good
it.
my
getaway.
I don't find myself dreading it, but you just can't help but feel the emptiness. But like I said, just keep it small and simple and nice, and try to enjoy.
Yeah.
Oh, Dad would have said
So
this. Oh, Mom would have laughed about this. Mom would have wanted us. We make the food that they would have liked. Oh, we have to have
Right.
galamad because Dad would have loved
yeah,
galamad. Like that kind of
Right.
stuff. You know,
galamade,
a
galamade.
galamad.
But what about the feeling inside your soul? How do you walk around when your parents are in this life versus how your parents are not in this life? Because no one really understands what I'm saying if they have their parents. So what about, how do you walk around? How do you feel? Do you feel more tired? Like, what's the difference?
Unstable. There's no
Mm,
stability. There's no time for get up from go to school, time to come home, do chores, do your homework. Now I can do whatever I want because there's no stability. If I have to go
mm,
to work, yeah, I have a stable job, but there's no it's no stability. Instability would be the thing that I feel without my parents
yeah.
because
And
I
then
can do whatever I want.
life is different, versus, because Thomas, you sent some beautiful photos of
Oh, you saw
your
him? I was wondering if you
yes, of
saw him or not.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay,
saw
cool.
them. Beautiful photos. You were young and good looking. What happened? No, I'm just kidding.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
It's all that hard living
No.
I did after they died.
No,
no,
yeah, so but yeah, because there's a sadness in all of us, like
Mhm.
we walk around and we're like, oh, da 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 da, but there's this fuck, where are my parents, right?
Yep.
Right.
yeah,
Thomas,
I was
tell us
I was
about
really
the
close. Uh,
tell us about how there's two different lives, so people that have their parents know what the fuck we're talking about.
yeah, I was really close with my parents. Like I talked to my mom every day if she was alive, and yeah, I always think that you really don't become an adult until you don't have your parents.
Mm,
And being an adult is not always that fun. And then I have friends they're my age or older, and they still have their parents, and it's just a
mm,
weird concept for me. It's just
It
mm,
is.
weird. Um,
mm-hmm.
because I don't have them.
So how does
And
think about your life when your parents are in it, and now your life with your parents are out of it, and tell people the difference between those two lives.
oh, the main difference is, I have two wonderful kids, so I focus on them. I have to be the grandparents and the parents because my wife's parents are passed away too, so she could have been on
Mm,
this, but so you kind of have to play both roles. So so it makes I make sure that I'm always there for my kids. Whatever was going on when they're growing up. Now they're in college and older now, but so yeah, it's what's it like? It's just totally different life. I mean, uh, it's just it's very empty, I guess you'd say,
you can't
without your
explain
parents.
it. It's a weird
No,
thing.
there's no word.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
Tamara,
no
what
words
about
for.
you? Tamara, tell us about the two different lives: the life that you had when you were with your parents, and the life now that you have with your not parents.
Well, I'm the baby of the family, and I was very close with both my parents. And I'd say the life without them is there's no security anymore.
Mm.
Um, I mean, I have my husband and all of that, but I mean, there's no sort of,
Just tell
I
me
don't
how
know.
you feel. Tell me how you feel. The difference between when your parents were in the life and the parents are now you're not in the life. What's your feeling on how you felt
I
back
feel
then
old.
versus how you felt now?
Sort of like lost now, sort of, sort of no roots, I had somewhere to be before. I
Mm.
belonged. I
Yes.
belonged somewhere, even though they pissed me off, they controlled me. They're nosy, whatever else. I still belonged.
Go to them.
There was somewhere I was. People that I would go to see. Now they're gone.
Mm.
So I'm just kind of floating. It's been longer for me without my parents than some of you. So I'm getting more used to it. But it sort of feels like you're floating along, and
So when you had your parents, it felt like what? You belonged?
I belonged. Yeah, I belonged. I
And
had a
now
family.
that you don't have your parents, you feel like you're floating?
Yeah, sort of lost. Because when my
Lost.
parents died, our family kind of went to shit too. It all blew up.
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 siblings, and it all blew up. So that whole dynamic is gone. All of it went.
So what
So
blew
now I'm on my
up?
own.
What blew up?
Oh, fighting over stuff in the house, fighting over inheritance, fighting over this, fighting over that.
Why do you
Just
think
stupid
kids fight
stuff.
so much why do you think kids fight so much over money and inheritance and the parent gave me that chair. No, but he gave me
Yeah,
that car. Like what? No, that's mine, Mom. Why does this fucking happen to us? What the
I
fuck
don't
does it
know.
matter? It's all bullshit anyways. We're all gonna die anyways. You're gonna throw it.
It's
You know what I
just
mean? I got
stuff.
what? It's just
It's
stuff.
just stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
just
was
stuff.
in
Can't
our
take it
family,
with
it
you.
was one person who was like that. But I guess maybe
Go-
that was their way of, maybe they weren't dealing with the death. I don't know. It's just, it
Mm.
was wild.
Same here.
It was
It's like
wild.
entitled to that because that was mine my whole life. That's mine. That's
That's
Yeah.
mine, right? That's
yeah, that
mine,
belongs to me.
right?
I sat there every day. That's not.
Yeah.
You're not gonna.
I heard it saying that it starts in the sandbox. Someone told me that. That's where it starts. It starts when you're a kid with the shovel, with the kids. Okay,
That's
that's my
right.
shovel. Give me that's my fucking shovel. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Try splitting up
James.
Packer tickets.
Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, James. James. Life was like with your parents, and now what is life like without your parents? Go.
Okay, so life with my parents was so amazing. It was like going to Disney World, man. Like you would
Mm,
wake up, you would be happy every day because you were there for 7 days or something, right? But with your parents, the
mm,
same concept because you're with them every day doing whatever you want, and they always make you happy. They're having a bad day, they always make their kids happy. But the thing is, like once they passed away, it made it feel like I died and went with them, and I'm a dead soul and trapped in this body because I can never call my parents ever again or nothing. Like it's so difficult and it's not fair. Like there's my parents right there if you can see it. Like I showed you. Like
mm.
it's probably too bright, but I have their urn with them in it, and it's not like it feels like they disappeared, went to another dimension or something. And with that, like without them, like you just want to wake up and like not even want to do anything and not even get out of bed, but you have to because now I have a family with a child. But with inheritance, like like they were saying, with inheritance, me and my brother, we never fought or nothing. We got everything like how it was made for the inheritance. No fighting or nothing. But I would trade all that money to bring them back for a day, tell them how
Yes.
much I love and miss them.
Yep.
Money
Yeah.
doesn't mean nothing to me.
Of course.
Jewelry is a different story because you can hold that close to your heart.
Yeah. Plus, she could sell it on eBay. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
My
just
dad
kidding.
would kill me.
Right. No, I'm just kidding. So James, so yours is the most fresh. So
Yep.
so how long have you been mourning? How many? Is it been a year, 2 years? What?
By myself without my parents. It's been 11 months.
So it's been about a year, and they
So with
both
my dad,
died
it's
around
been
this.
a year.
It's around the same time.
Yeah, because our last Christmas with my dad was 2020.
Wow.
Before, no, 2019. And then with my mom, her last Christmas was 2020, and she died 2021. Like 11 months. Like I lost my dad, like I told you, from CMML. I lost my grandmother. she fell because her oxygen machine, and she hit her head and she died from that. Then my mom died of a broken heart, plus she got COVID, and all that stuff right there, 11 months, that's all hard. Like, I will never be able to see my mom again, never be able to see my dad again, or my grandmother.
And
And
you're
it's not easy.
young.
Like, you can't just pick up yeah, I'm 38. You can't just pick up the phone of heaven and be like, hello, can I talk to my parents? You can't do
Yeah.
that. Like,
Right.
without them,
Yeah.
it feels like you're destroyed from the inside out. You just want to cry,
Yeah.
but you got to stay strong for your family. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
it's interesting because I'm 53 years old and I'm on, towards I don't want to say the end of my life at all. I'm not saying that, but we're definitely
Oh my
past
God, don't say that.
but you know what
Don't
I'm
say that.
saying.
I'm
You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
52.
understand
Don't
what you
say
mean.
that. I know.
But you know what I'm saying, we all live to 80 to 90. That's pretty much it. I always say if you live to 80, you've won because anything
Right.
else after that is like, extra. My dad lived to
Well,
92,
mhm.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it's interesting that, life is a conveyor belt. You're born and you go through life and you die, and then another kid's born, and you just, you're lucky. You're lucky to. I always celebrate birthdays as opposed to be mad that you're getting older, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, God gave you another
Another
day
one.
on this earth. Another
Right.
day on this earth. Yeah. Um. So, Dory, how's it going? Do you think you have to go into Starbucks soon, or are you good?
I think I'm okay. They haven't looked for me yet.
They haven't. Can I get a latte with an extra foam and an ad shot whip, please?
Absolutely, and it's on the house.
Oh wow,
Oh,
thank you,
woo.
thank you. That's nice. That's nice. And then what about when your parents died? Was there an open casket? Were they buried, or is it cremation, or like how has that whole thing affected you? And is there a grave? Do you get scattered in the lake? Like that's always a
So
weird thing, right?
It
So
is.
right, it
Dory,
is.
go.
So for me, my parents were cremated. My father is
Mm,
a veteran, so my mother and father are buried in the veteran cemetery together, in
mm.
their urns, which is kind of strange. Never knew you could do that. So yeah, for me, it's weird that I can go to one spot and see them both at the same gravesite. My father's on one side of the plaque and my mother's on the other. So it's nice. I can, bring dual flowers and all that fun stuff.
Do you
But
visit?
my
Do you
mom,
visit your par? Do you visit your parents' graves?
I do. I do. They are about 15 to 20 minutes out of town from here. I'm in California, Vacaville. So they're about 15, 20 minutes out of here. So occasionally I go up there and see them a couple times a year. Especially
And what do you
holidays. I want
say
to.
when you put flowers on your parents' graves? What graves? What do you say?
I'd say hi. I tell them about my life. I tell them about their great
Wow.
grandson, because they never got to meet him. He was born right after my mother passed away. So they didn't even get to meet their great grandson, but that's okay. So I tell them all about everything, my daughter, my grandson, their great grandson, and just fill them in. Like they're here, like I'm visiting them at their house, except for it's a big field with other passed away people. So, I try
Yeah.
to make it as normal as possible.
And do you really feel like they're hearing you and you feel connected to them?
I do. I do. Maybe not so much when I'm at their grave, but I talk to them in my head all the time. If I hear a
Yeah.
song, I'll say, "Hey, Dad," or my dad worked for Clark Pest Control for 40 years. So every time I see a Clark Pest Control truck, I always say, "Hi, Dad," little things
Mm,
like that. So I believe they hear me. I do. I believe they
that's
can
cool.
hear me from heaven. It doesn't always heal my heart, but I know they can hear me.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Andrew,
Hmm.
same question. Were your parents cremated, or was it an open casket? What was the funeral like? How do you visit them, or yeah?
Open casket. They're buried together, not far in Staten Island over here. Um, I mean, my mom, again, my mom's was more about making sure dad was okay. And dad's was the real whoa moment that they're both
Mm,
gone, you know?
mm,
And as far as the cemetery, I find it peaceful to visit. You were saying which type of person are you? I don't think I would use the word lost, but I'd use the word alone. And not to sound corny, but for two reasons. Like if like good things happen, you feel like, oh, they'd love to hear about this. You know,
Yeah.
first of all, my dad would think that this is a great idea of what you're doing right now. But the
Yep.
irony that he would never know about it, but he would think this is awesome and a great idea. The good things you can't tell them, but you also feel like they're not there to tell you when you're doing something
So you
stupid or
so so they're
alone.
in a cemetery
Yes.
in
Yes,
Staten
buried in the
Island.
cemetery. Yes. Yeah, their plots
And
were
you
meant
go.
to be together.
Oh wow! And you go visit them.
Yeah, yeah. We go
Oh,
fairly often. As you get busy, you end up just going on a birthday, on a holiday,
yeah.
Thanksgiving,
And
that kind of thing.
what's it like? Like Dorie was saying that she sits there with flowers and stuff. Because I know I visited
I
my mom's grave a couple times. Yeah.
It
So
sounds not to keep giving myself disclaimers. It sounds corny, but I find myself talking when I go there alone, and it's cathartic. I'll just ramble for 2-3 minutes, talk about what's gone on the past couple months. My father
it's
used to
not good
joke
to.
with the. Go ahead.
No, go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
Um, I'll talk,
You're.
sometimes to myself or a little out loud. Actually, a little out loud now that I think about it. I probably talk low and just catch them up on what's been going on as if we're having a conversation. My dad used to joke, we were big Rocky fans together since I'm a little baby. And there was that tree that's right next to them. You know how Rocky put the chair in the tree and he would take it out and talk
Yeah.
to Adrian? My father used to joke about that when we'd visit my mom. And I kind of do that with the both of them, where I kind of just sit and talk and catch up with what's been going on, how work is, how the job is, how my band
So
is,
it's
whatever
good.
it is.
So
I
you
find it
suggest
cathartic.
to go. Yeah, you suggest to go to the grave and talk to them and kind of spend a little time with them, right?
I feel good when I go, and I feel good when I
Yeah.
talk, and I feel like I had my check-in. You know how you always feel like you had to call them, or oh God, I didn't talk to mom in 2 days. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm doing my check-in. Even if it's not as often.
Yeah. And then
That's what works for me.
Tamara, do you visit your parents' graves, but they passed away a long time ago, or?
Well, they both were cremated. They didn't have funerals, and their ashes are buried on our family farm estate. So, and my sister lives there with her family, so I can go anytime I want.
Oh,
They have
cool.
a
And then do you
special
go?
garden there.
Oh, wow. Do you go out to the garden and speak with them, or?
I don't know because I'm a bit different. I feel that they send me signs all the time, so I'm always talking to them in the day.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
You don't.
"Oh, there,"
Yeah.
or something comes on, or I'm constantly thinking of them in my own way.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even before we started this Zoom call, I said to my husband, I can smell my mother's perfume. It's driving me nuts. All of a sudden, it was like it's coming out of the vent. And my husband said, yeah, she probably thinks this is really cool.
Yeah.
Because one of their
Yeah.
favorite movies was Your Son-in-Law.
Oh, wow. That's great. And then Sandy, I know in your video you said you're a workaholic.
Yes.
You're work, 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 work. Like even if you went on a vacation, guess what you'd fucking be doing? Work,
Working.
right? Like if you went
Yes.
to Mexico, like, oh, I'm gonna go to Hawaii for a week or two. What are you gonna wind up doing, and why? Right? So,
I don't know how to relax. I tried
mm,
that when me and my brother went to Panama after our dad died. We were there too long. It's like, this is boring. We need to go home. I need to be working. I need to do something. I got that from my mom. It was a work ethic that she ingrained in us when we were young. You work
mm,
and you'll have good things. I mean, I've worked my whole life for what I have, but that came from my mom.
mm,
So it keeps my mind occupied when people are, oh, I got to go Christmas shopping. I got to go do, I don't have to do that. I just have to work.
yeah. And then what about during the holidays? There's the two big holidays regarding family are Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those are the two main ones. Those are the ones that kind of deal with family. So for Thanksgiving, you can kind of get invited to other people's homes, and it kind of feels a little bit not as awkward. But what about on Christmas? Do you get invited to other people's homes and they're all opening their presents and you're just kind of sitting there in the corner picking your nose, and they're kind of like, oh, who's that lady that's on her? Oh, her parents died. Like, but she's our friend. Like, has that happened to you?
Yeah, it's happened several times. I used to live in Pennsylvania. I had a family who adopted me there. I went to their house. I don't remember if I got stuff at their Christmas, but it was awkward. I watched all the kids, all the adults open their stuff, just watching them. Thankful for the invite, but they just don't get it. But now I spend it with my best friend and her family. I'm the photographer. I sit back, watch everybody open their stuff, and make sure I get a picture of everything they open.
Wow.
So
Wow. So you're
I'm like,
really isolating yourself. You're
yeah,
like, fuck this, right?
yep. Let me take those pictures. What time are you doing it? Okay. What am I bringing this year? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a thing where I think a year or two ago, I flew with my friend Josh. I was doing a show in, I think it was Indianapolis, and I purposely flew on Christmas,
To get away
you
from it.
know? Yeah.
Mhm.
From the West Coast, you leave like on the 9 a.m. flight, you wind up around 6 o'clock in Indianapolis. You missed all of Christmas. You land, you go to your hotel, and around 9 o'clock, you're eating, and then it's fucking gone. And that's a pretty good way if you want to avoid it and not feel the pain. What about medication? Do you ever medicate yourself?
No, I'm not one of you party people. My brother does. I just watch movies. I think in my video I shared my tradition. The week of Christmas, I watch a movie a night. I start actually on Thanksgiving with your movie, Son-in-Law, because it's the only
Okay.
Thanksgiving movie I know. And then I start with Charlie Brown Christmas, and I watch one a night. And then on Christmas, I end with A Family Stone. And if
Right.
I'm not watching movies, I'll sleep.
Yeah. So let's go to Dorie. So how do you deal with it? You workaholic too?
I
Do you fall under the
I
same
do.
category as Sandy regarding the holidays are coming? It's an emotional time, so I'm just gonna work, 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 and kind of
I
cover
do.
up with what's going on. Yeah.
I do. I kind of pour myself into work. I myself have worked since I was 12, so and that's how I was raised as well. To work, you work through your emotions. You work to not think about things that are going on in your life. So I work. I pour myself into work, and it's not a healthy solution. I know that, but it's all I have. And when I don't pour myself into work, I smoke weed to go to sleep at night, and it's not a great way to medicate. It's awful. It's a horrible thing, but it's all I know. And it's new for me with my mom. My dad was hard, but losing my mom was probably the hardest. And that was, only a year for me. So I don't have her to call and say, hey, I don't have to work today. Let's talk and hang out. Let's do stuff. And it's tough. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
could.
pour myself into.
Yeah. And Thomas, you probably don't fall in that category because you sent me a video of you in front of a big tree. So you're
Right.
ready to rock and roll for Christmas. Yeah, your
Yeah, my
parents.
wife.
Yeah. Well, let me finish my sentence here. So, yeah, your parents aren't with us, but you have an awesome family. You have an awesome tree. We don't have that shit. All of us, right, guys? We don't have that thing. Huh? That Thomas has, right? Thomas,
I do.
you
I
do?
have a tree.
You
I
have a
haven't put a
Yeah,
tree
tree?
up
of
ever.
course.
I have a tree.
Okay. Oh,
I go
that's
all
good.
out.
Yeah, my wife and I started early this year. Before Thanksgiving, we got the tree up, which is like a first. So yeah, when I did my video, I did it in front of the tree because I thought that would be appropriate.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Because you have a
yeah.
whole new
Fortunately,
family. Yeah. Yeah.
right, correct. Yeah, correct. Yeah. So that helps. That helps. But
Hmm.
but early on, I didn't. Yeah, I go to the cemetery. My family or all my family, my grandparents, everyone is buried over there. I have a brother that died when he was 17 in a car accident, so he's over there.
Mm.
And I usually roll the window down and play some music that they like, and say some prayers, and yeah, that's what I do. I visit them a lot.
So advice to the people watching about getting through this Christmas time without the parents. You want to we can kind of go around. Maybe we'll start with Andrew. Just giving advice to people in this time. You're someone who lost both your parents. What advice would you give to people on how to kind of deal with it?
Easier said than done. But what I do and what I'm doing with Christmas, and I did it last year, is I tell myself I'm going to enjoy the holidays the way they enjoyed the holidays because they would want me to enjoy it. It sounds
Right.
cliche, but it's all I can
Mhm.
go with. You know, it's all I got. And they wouldn't want to see me miserable, being a disaster, whatever it is. They'd want to say he's enjoying it. He's enjoying his dinner. He's with his family, his sister, his friend, whatever it is. That's what they would want. So I almost tell myself in my head as I'm putting the tree up, and I got the Christmas music on or Elvis
Oh
playing,
wow.
and I say, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Why not? You know, that's what else are we here for? My mother used to say, it's just a journey. And I try to remember their words and put it to good
Right.
use.
Cool.
And
Tamara, what
that's
about you? What advice would you give people that are now in this time without their parents in the holidays? What would you say?
That it's okay to feel all the feelings, you know? Don't,
Mm.
if you want to cry because an ornament reminds you of your parents, then do it. If you want
Mm.
to uh, take time away from everybody, do it. If you want to be happy, be happy. If don't force yourself to be anything that you don't feel. Because for
Mm-hmm.
years, I put on a happy face and I was, my friends would say, "Aren't you so sad?" No, I'm great. I'm perfectly good. You're stuffing it all down until you get an ulcer. But no, don't do that. Fuck it.
Right.
Just be,
Yeah.
it's okay to cry. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to remember. That's life, right? And it's a
Yeah.
blessing to have the nice memories. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't. So
It's true. James, what advice would you give to people that are going through the holidays now without their parents?
Well, people who are going out without their parents this holiday should notice that, yes, their parents are gone. They're in your heart. And plus, too, you want to show it to your loved ones to show support for them that are going through it, and even friends and people who are watching this, because going through it alone isn't that easy, because you bring back all those memories in your head and it makes you want to cry, but you just have to think and be happy. Like, this is all I have left of my parents, and me and my son are gonna be celebrating Christmas with them, and they're both in here right now.
And they
And
would
my
love
brother has
that.
this
That
one
yeah,
too.
that's great.
Hmm.
And then
They would love
Dory,
it too.
yeah, Dory, what would you tell people that are going through, the holidays without their parents? Yeah.
I would kind of say the same thing. You just keep their memory alive. If you feel your feelings, if you want to cry, cry. Surround yourself with good people, people who are supportive of the way you feel, even if they don't understand what it's like, where your life's at. Surround yourself with good people. Cry if you got to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Play the favorite songs. If they like Christmas, your parents like Christmas music, play the Christmas music. I try to keep their traditions alive so that my daughter will pass it on to her son, and
Yeah.
they'll know it came from Papa and Gigi. And
Yeah.
I even for Christmas presents, I write their, Papa and Gigi love you, Merry Christmas. Just to keep their memory alive. It's our job.
Yeah.
It's our job to keep their memories alive, keep their spirit
Yeah.
afloat.
Yeah. I think for me, the main thing that I learned from this experience with, you guys and, stepping into the holidays again is my parents would say, get the fuck over it. Like,
yeah,
Right,
don't,
yeah,
right,
stop the bullshit.
right.
Like
yeah.
you mourned. I had a good run. Now it's your time. Go rock and roll. And just go enjoy yourself. Like, I'm fine. And like, I'd hear my mom, she's from Wisconsin, get over it. No one wants to hear that bullshit anymore. I fucking just stop your sobbing. Let's go, rock and roll. You know what I mean? And I think that's the main thing is like, we've all had a lot of people die around us, not just our parents, close friends,
Right.
brothers, sisters, this or that. The most important thing that I've gotten from it through my experience is it's okay to mourn, but don't sit in it for years because that'll kill you. And they don't want that. And I think that's the most important thing is that, like you guys said, if you feel like shit and you feel sad, cry, but don't sit in it for fucking months, and I go through it too. I think, our emotions are like herpes. They just kind of bubble up sometimes and then they go away sometimes. They bubble up sometimes and they go away not that I have fucking herpes, but I'm just saying I've seen it on the internet. Anyways, but we're all in a special group. I wanted to get you guys together so other people can experience this too. Just because I've been in movies and TV and all that bullshit, that doesn't mean anything. I'm just like people that have lost people, and it's a heavy thing. So we're all in a special group. We're all orphans, right? We're all pretty much orphans. We're in that orphan club, and we both lost both our parents, both our dad and a mom. And on that note, I think it's important that we end with end this get together with the famous song from a famous movie called Annie. So who wants to start singing the song, and then we're gonna say our goodbyes and try not to medicate yourself too much. So here we go. Why don't we start it with we'll start it with Andrew. Andrew, let's go.
I don't know
It's a hard knock life.
Knock life
For
for us.
us.
It's a hard knock
Come
life.
on, guys.
That's it.
We're a
For us,
team.
it's a hard knock life.
It's
For
a hard
us,
knock life.
it's life. For us, say for us.
I
don't know the words.
I don't know the words.
We suck.
Anyways, thank you guys for wanting to be part of this. Hopefully, we'll help people out. And knowing that
Thank you.
knowing that it's a heavy time, it's a heavy situation, and I know just because it's the holidays doesn't mean that you're not as sad about this in April, but
Right.
it does get a little heavier. It does get a little heavier during this time because at this time you go, fuck, I remember we used to open presents with my mom and dad or my parents are divorced, so I'd meet my dad somewhere and my mom, just kind of like maneuvering that whole relationship, like, even though it was fucked up, it was also kind of fun at the same time. So
Right.
and then you're not married?
Nope.
And then you have kids?
I have two cats. No, I have two cats. Just got two cats.
Yeah. So you're
And
you're like
I'm the number 2, 3, and 4 on your list because
yeah.
my brothers don't have no kids. We're the only grandparents of my mom's parents. None of us are married. None of us have kids. All of our other cousins are other families. So we're pretty isolated all by ourselves. And my brothers
So
both
it's
live in
just-
Wisconsin. So
Yeah, so it's just you and your cats.
me and my cats.
So you turned into the cat lady.
Not yet. I only have 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of isolate myself with my dog Buster.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then when people find out that you're by yourself during Christmas and they invite you over, how does that make you feel?
Sometimes it's a good feeling, but I want to be by myself because I'm a workaholic. Christmas is the only day that I can actually have to myself to do nothing because the jobs I work for are closed on Christmas Day. But I just want to sometimes be by myself, and there have been years that I haven't done anything. But like this year coming up, I can actually go there and be happy because you invited me to do this for all the people who have lost their parents. We just need to get on with life. So
yeah, that's what I was saying. I think it's important to and this is my parents saying it, I think it's important to mourn their loss, but not sit in it.
Right.
You know, I think, you know, when someone dies, you know, there's a grace period of, you know, being mourned. But if you sit in it for too long and you medicate yourself or you drink or you know, it's okay to do it just a little bit, but then that'll kill you. And it's definitely like my parents are definitely the type of people like, get over it. My mom would be like, stop fucking, who cares? It's old news.
Grow up.
Move on.
Just
I'm
grow
fine.
up. Mm-hmm.
Stop being, you know, grow up. And I think that's important. I think if anyone gets anything from this, it's mourn, be sad, but don't sit in it because that'll kill you.
Because even the people that haven't been through it and do the I'm sorry, you don't know until it actually happens to you. So don't tell me that you're sorry because you don't know what I'm feeling. You have no idea what it's like.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Dorie, get back to work at Starbucks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. That was fun, and it was nice to meet all of you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, very
nice.
Nice to meet you all too.
Merry Christmas,
This was
everybody.
great.
Merry Christmas.
Very nice to
It
meet
makes
everybody.
it feel like we're
Happy
like a little
holidays.
family together.
We are.
It makes it feel like we're a little family now.
See, we're not orphans anymore.
Yeah, we're not.
Hey, man, keep us happy if we keep in contact, right? Just us.
Right,
it might keep us happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Some Annie jokes, whatever.
Check on us in May. My parents died in May. That was my birthday. I know how Dorie feels.
Pauly Shore movie night. Yeah.
No, we don't need a Pauly Shore movie night. We're okay on that one.
Why? That'd be so much fun.
I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna watch.
You guys have
tonight.
Oh, cool. You guys have an awesome. You guys have an awesome Christmas and you know, and again, you know, we're on this earth for a short time. God gave us another day, so just appreciate right now. We're here, and I'll see you guys out there on the road somewhere. Bye, guys.
Thanks so much, all. Thank you, Pauly.